Hey guys, my name is Tommy. Welcome back to our 5-minute tour of the Inner Sea region. We're diving right in today. We're headed to the hold of Belkzen. Despite this region being mostly a desolate wasteland, there's a lot of history going on here. A long time ago, around the time of the fall of the Starstone, the dwarves of ancient Golarion lived in the Darklands in the realm of Narvath. Their god Torag had given them a prophecy that following a great earthquake, they should leave their homes and head upwards. They took the tremors caused by the Starstone's fall as this sign, and over the course of about 150 years, in an event now known as the Quest for Sky, the dwarves systematically headed up through the Darklands to reach the surface of Golarion. During the Quest for Sky, several other species that lived in the Darklands were driven out and into the surface, this including the Orcs. The dwarves established massive castle towns that they called Sky Citadels all across the Inner Sea, and after the Quest for Sky, they chose to make a concerted effort to wipe out the Orcs from the face of Golarion. After driving a particular tribe into a mountain valley, the Orcs rallied under the leadership of a warlord named Belkzen. Driven by Belkzen's ambition and the species' rage, they fought back, and Belkzen's success rallied thousands of Orcs under his banner. This horde quickly reached and besieged the Sky Citadel Koldukar. In a battle now known as the Battle of Nine Stones, Belkzen overran the citadel and slaughtered all the dwarves within. Belkzen consolidated his position by fortifying Koldukar and renamed it Urgir, which means first home in Orcish. It wasn't long after this that he expanded his holdings, claiming and pillaging nearby settlements and attracting other orcs to his banner. Belkzen proved to be a powerful and ambitious leader, but the unity of the orc tribes did not last after his death. Immediately upon Belkzen's death, the region collapsed into dozens of squabbling orc tribes competing for power. With a couple of exceptions, this pretty much sums up the hold of Belkzen present day. The Whispering Tyrant did make an appearance in 3203 AR, unifying the orcs to serve his army, and of course Khazavon made an effort to reunite the tribes in 4043 AR as well, but this has always been short-lived. The tribes always fall upon each other, and again, present day, the hold of Belkzen has no organized government and is simply orc tribes competing with each other for power. The hold of Belkzen is a desolate wasteland most of the time. The only major river cutting through the region is dry most of the year. Around late spring to early summer, the snows in the nearby mountains will melt, causing this river, which most of the time is used simply as a dirt road that cuts through the region, to flood, and in the process, transforming the dry wasteland into a fertile prairie teeming with life. Animals will come down from the mountains to graze, and in this time, the orcs enter what is called the Flood Truce. During the Flood Truce, pretty much every single solitary orc tribe in the hold will pack themselves within about a 20-mile radius around this flooded riverbed to hunt, considering these animals will provide them with meat and leather for pretty much the entire rest of the year, as there is no food once this river dries up. They'll also use this time to mate with other tribes, to establish alliances with other tribes. It's so important to the survival of the orcs in Belkzen that the leaders of all the major tribes have decreed that no orc will kill another orc during the Flood Truce. Of course, if you happen to be a pinkskin in the hold of Belkzen during late spring to early summer, you're fair game. Everybody else, untouchable. In late summer, once this riverbed dries up, all the orcs return to their ancestral homes for the winter to begin a vast season of war known to them as the Proving Time. The cycle continues year to year. They'll come together in the spring to hunt, to have young, to make friends, and throughout the rest of the year, they kill each other. Of course, despite the stereotype, not every orc looks forward to the Proving Time, which is probably our biggest adventure hook, other than to kill things, as to why we might bring adventurers to the hold of Belkzen. The Empty Hand tribe rules the city of Urgir, and its chief, Grask Uldef, is more than aware that this cycle of violence keeps his kind stuck in the past and prevents them from emerging out into the world. Though a lot of orcs consider him weak for doing this, Grask has let several non-orc merchants move into the city of Urgir, so orcs in the region can be brought up to par with the rest of the Inner Sea in terms of technology, in terms of civilization. Grask knows he's reaching middle age, and your average orc lives about 40 some odd years in Galarion, so he knows his time is short. He's doing the best he can to drive this into his species' head that, hey, it's time to move on, guys. The rest of the world is moving on without us. But of course, these guys are pretty set in their ways. So if I'm a GM and I want to bring people to the hold of Belkzen, and I don't want to just, hey, you, Paladin, go fight this orc and all 5 million of his orc friends, this is probably the adventure hook I would use. Fantasy has regions infested with tribes of monster men fighting other tribes of monster men all over the place, but I think it's pretty obvious that the hold of Belkzen is more or less our Mordor. This region has had its various dark lords uniting the orc tribes and throwing them at people. Essentially, we're playing in a world where Sauron is defeated, the ring is destroyed, but all these orcs still exist, still punching each other in the mouth with their great axes, doing what they do best. So have you guys ever adventured in Belkzen before? And if so, would you be willing to adventure peacefully or otherwise with these orcs? Tell me all about it in the comments below and we'll keep the conversation going, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. Our next episode of the 5 Minute Tour drops next Friday.